Thank you very much, Kilcummin. Minister, I want to raise with you in relation to the Kilcummin sewerage scheme, where the work is now underway, which is actually to connect residents from Kilcummin to the existing Killarney scheme. I asked that the connection for residents and others be left out adjacent to their properties on the roadside at their boundary fence, as this is not happening as we're talking here. I'm asking you, Minister, for an incentive, in other words funding, to help with the connection fee, because residents are being asked to pay 3,900 and something for the connection fee. This scheme is 3.7 kilometres long, and the project is to take sewerage from, as I said, from Kilcummin village down along the road to meet with the Killarney scheme and treat in the Killarney treatment plant. It's costing approximately 9 million. I had a long battle to get this scheme going since 2004 or earlier. It was to go ahead in 2008, but the contractor was disqualified then, and we had to start all over again. And you know, the country went bust and the economy went AWOL, and there it has been since. 90 houses will be connected from Kilcummin Estate and 30 in Mountain View, as they had existing plants, and those plants are going to be connected to this scheme. Also, Our Lady of Lourdes nursing home will be connected. They're at the start of the scheme, but all the single houses down along the road, somewhere between 50 and 70, and the rest of the settlement, all down the way through Balnamonach, Inchikalana, Kilcummin, they have been told they will have to pay 3,900, as I said to you, for the connection, and on top of this, then they'd have to pay for the work to take it in around to their houses themselves. This is a new departure by Irish Water, as heretofore all the other new schemes, Barradog, Ratmore, Fanninfore, Milton and Erfurt, when Kerry progressed, these connections were taken from the main pipe and placed at the boundary wall free of charge, adjacent to their residence. But in Kilcummin, this is happening now unless people pay a connection fee for of 3,900. Irish Water say that they have been okayed by the regulator for Commission of Utilities to charge this sum, as this is a new departure in the provision of sewerage facilities. Will the government make up the cost being charged by Irish Water for the residents' connections? This is a big mistake. The connections should be made now while the work is going on. The Kilcummin road is closed to facilitate the works, and the main pipe is down 6 and 7 metres in places. If the connections are not taken out of the mains now, it is unlikely to happen ever again in the future. As I said to you, I'm asking you, will he put the contractor in funds to make sure that these connections are done now while the work is ongoing? The purpose of the scheme in the first place is to prevent pollution and protect the Deanoch River and the beautiful lakes of Killarney from issues like algae blue. The full benefit of this scheme, which is paid for by public money, will not be realised if all the residents down along the road don't connect to the scheme. And you see, in all the previous schemes, as I said to you, Minister, when the local authority was doing the job, the connections were made to their properties, out to their walls, so that all they'd have to do is to take it from there. But if it's not done now, there'll be disruption and other complications if it is left till after.
Minister Noonan.
Good Ceann Comhairle agus an bhuichas sáilis an as an gceist seo an teachta. Again, to thank the Deputy for raising the issue today and allowing me the opportunity to outline the position in respect to Uiscéireann's responsibility on this issue. The Water Services Act 2007-20 sets out the arrangements in place for the delivery of water and wastewater services by Uiscéireann and for the scrutiny and oversight provisions that apply in respect of these arrangements. As the Deputy will understand, provision of wastewater services in Kerry is a matter for Uiscéireann in the first instance. Since the 1st of January 2014, Uiscéireann has had statutory responsibility for all aspects of water services planning, delivery and operation at national, regional and local levels. The scope, prioritisation and progression of individual projects are a matter for Uiscéireann and are approved through its own internal governance structures. My department has made inquiries with Uisce Éireann on the issue mentioned by the Deputy. Uisce Éireann has advised that works are progressing on the Kilcummin sewerage scheme, and the scheme will provide a new sewer collection system for Kilcummin village, which will ensure wastewater from the village is treated appropriately, and again to protect water courses, as you had mentioned. The scheme will reduce the reliance on on-site systems such as septic tanks and packaged treatment plants. It includes the construction of new wastewater pumping station, gravity sewer and associated works in Kilcummin. Wastewater from Kilcummin will be transferred to the Killarney town sewer system for appropriate treatment at the Killarney wastewater treatment plant. And this will improve the water quality in the River Dina and Lough Lean, provided scope to facilitate future development within the catchment and ensure compliance with the EU and Irish wastewater regulations. The overall project is due for completion in early 2024. The Government is committed to the significant and sustained investment needed to ensure the continued operation, upgrade and repair of the country's water and wastewater infrastructure to support economic development in the years to come. In this regard, Budget 2023 has secured over 1.78 billion to support water services, and this includes 1.65 billion in respect of domestic water service provision by Uisce Éireann. And this overall investment will deliver significant improvements in our public water and wastewater services, support improved water supplies right across Ireland, including rural Ireland, and support a range of programmes delivering improved water quality in our rivers, lakes and marine area, making a significant contribution to addressing Ireland's needs.
Healy-Rae.
Thank you very much, Cloncorr, and thank you, Minister, for the reply. But, Minister, I want to state to you that this is the first scheme that Irish Water have taken charge or are responsible for in Kerry. And like I said to you here before, the connections were left out on the side of the road for the people free of charge. And they have 4,000 might sound much to you here, Minister, to people, but if you don't have it, it's an awful lot of money. And this is going to be a headline for all the other counties where Irish Water will from now on be responsible for the sewerage schemes. And they're saying that they're going to be charging 4,000 per customer. And I don't think that's going to work, Minister, and to work in this case. And to the fright, you got to spend 9 million of taxpayers' money and not ensure that all the people along the road that are adjacent to the road, there's somewhere between 50 and 70 houses that they are not accommodated now because they were never ready for this. And the very most of them are conscious of pollution and water quality, and they want to be part of that. But right at this point in time, they don't have the funds to pay for it. And many of them visited my clinics in the last number of days and highlighted to me what's going on. And they said to the fright that the pipe is passes up and they're not leaving out the connection while the work is ongoing. If we'll have to dig down at a later stage, if people decide that they're going to pay for it or whatever, it's going to cost Irish Water a lot more than 4,000 even. To provide the connection, when they have to go down that depth in places 5 or 6 metres and maybe 2 metres in the most of it. See, that's never going to happen. And I mean, one would ask yourself then, what is the scheme for? The big pipe is passing down the road and they're not connected to it. It doesn't make any sense in the world. And look, Minister, it might be a small amount of money in your eyes, but it's a big amount to the people involved. And this is going to be replicated right around the country. So you either have to talk to the regulator who said that it is all right for Irish Water to charge this money, or put the Irish Water in funds to accommodate that the connections are made.
Thank you, Deputy. Thank you, Deputy.
And again, just to remind the Deputy that the progression of individual wastewater infrastructure is a matter for Uisce Éireann, and there are reps lines there for us to make those representations. And the scope of the Kilcummin sewerage scheme included the installation of a sewer network and the construction of a pumping station. The scope didn't include the provision of wastewater connections to residents in the area along the route of the wastewater network. As Uisce Éireann is a regulated utility under the CRU approved water charges plan, and in conjunction with the connection charging policy, there are no exemptions for connection charges. I understand that Uisce Éireann held a public information evening in 2019 informing residents of the procedure for the submission of connection of applications. Uisce has also advised the connection application forms were physically distributed to all properties along the pipeline route who could easily connect. Any person wishing to connect a domestic premises to the public water or wastewater network should make a connection application to Uisce. Each connection application will be assessed and charged consistently across the country in accordance with connections policy. And again, just to assure the Deputy that Government is committed to ensuring substantial funding is provided to Uisce, and we are continuing that and have done since the formation of this Government. For Government commits to funding Uisce's capital investment plan for water and wastewater infrastructure on a multi-annual basis. And the NDP 2021 to 2030 commits to almost €6 billion in capital investment by Uisce in the period 2021 to 25, of which over €4.5 billion will be voted exchequer funding for domestic water services. And again, just to reiterate the point to the Deputy that the operational issue for Uisce, and in terms of the connection, as I said, there aren't exemptions here, and it is important that the Deputy would take this matter up directly with Uisce.
Well, I'm asking you to deal with it and help it and sort it out, because
Thank you.
are not playing ball.
All right, thank you, Deputy. I mean, I have to say, it would appear to me that there is a valid point here that the pollution caused to the environment by the homes of people who can't afford the connection costs is as serious as that created for the environment by those who can. And maybe Uisce needs to wake up and smell the coffee.
It's a fair point, Karen Corley, yeah.
And can I just say
No, you can't. And I shouldn't have said what I said either, so we'll all be quiet. Deputy.